She thought she was doing everything right. Eating light, avoiding sugar, following what the label said was healthy. But no one warned her that behind those everyday choices was a silent enemy. An ingredient so common, so familiar, that it never crossed her mind it could affect her brain. Until one day, in the middle of a birthday celebration, she looked at her own granddaughter and didn't recognize her name. What if I told you that certain habits praised as healthy are actually habits that shrink your hippocampus? That food sold as safe for seniors may be behind early signs of dementia in seniors. And no one's talking about it? In this video, you'll discover the truth about foods that cause brain fog in seniors, medications that affect memory, and how to reverse early cognitive decline with natural solutions that actually work. So if you've ever caught yourself forgetting a word, losing track of a conversation, or worrying that someone you love is slipping away mentally, you need to watch this until the end. Because what we'll reveal in the next few minutes might explain why that's happening, and how to stop it before it's too late. This isn't just a warning. It's a map back to clarity. And it starts now. The breakfast that seemed harmless. Every morning felt safe. A soft routine that brought comfort. A slice of toast, some cereal, maybe a glass of orange juice. Nothing out of the ordinary. But over time, something strange started happening. Words began slipping away. She'd walk into a room and forget why. At first, it felt like aging. But there was something deeper, something hiding in plain sight. Her breakfast. What seemed like a healthy choice was actually loaded with silent saboteurs. That cereal, full of refined carbs that spike and crash blood sugar. The toast, often made from ultra-processed flour that inflames the body and fogs the brain. And that juice, just sugar in disguise. These aren't just bad habits. They're daily habits that destroy memory. They wear down acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter critical for remembering names, dates, and directions. And it's not just about food, it's about routine. When the same chemical ingredients are consumed every morning, day after day, they accumulate like dust in the corners of the brain. Slowly, the hippocampus, the area responsible for memory, starts to shrink. And no one notices until it's too late. Until one morning she stood in front of the fridge, staring, and couldn't remember why she opened it. The sweeteners stealing her memories. In an effort to stay healthy, she made a switch. No more sugar. Just diet drinks, zero-calorie yogurts, and that little pink packet in her coffee. It felt like a smart move. But no one told her the truth. These sweeteners were doing something sugar never did. They were disrupting her gut microbiome, the very system that talks directly to the brain. And slowly she began forgetting, not just keys or dates, but birthdays. Special ones. Aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. They all promise sweetness without the guilt. But what they don't mention is their link to neuroinflammation and memory loss. These chemicals block the absorption of nutrients, interfere with neurotransmitters, and mimic early signs of dementia in seniors. They seem harmless on the label, but inside the brain, they act like invaders, especially when consumed daily, in teas, desserts, or even healthy protein shakes. She stopped craving sweets and started forgetting names. One day, while preparing a cake for her granddaughter's birthday, she paused. The candles were lit, The family was watching, but the name wouldn't come. And for a moment everything froze. Her son thought it was just aging, but the truth was sweeter and darker than anyone imagined. And it wasn't just the fake sugar that was hiding something, the ingredient that quietly turned off her brain. At first glance, vegetable oil looks harmless, even healthy. It's in salad dressings, baked goods, frozen meals. But few people know these oils, especially soybean and canola, are among the most dangerous habits for brain health. Every tablespoon can fuel chronic neuroinflammation, the silent fire that damages memory pathways. And she used it daily, unknowingly feeding a slow decline. The kind that doesn't hurt, it just erases. Inside the brain, these oils affect how neurons communicate. They disrupt the balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, essential for cognitive function. Over time, this imbalance weakens the brain's plasticity, making it harder to learn, harder to focus, and harder to remember. It's one of those habits that shrink the hippocampus over years, not days. But the symptoms creep in quietly. Misplacing objects, blanking on familiar faces, forgetting appointments. She never imagined her own kitchen could be the source. But when the oils are cheap, odorless, and everywhere, they become invisible threats. One drizzle at lunch, one sautéed dish at dinner, they add up. And so she kept cooking with them. Until one afternoon, standing by the stove, she burned the pan and didn't even smell the smoke. That was the first real warning sign. But it wouldn't be the last. The day everything changed. Lunch that led to confusion. It was a normal afternoon. Same lunch as always. Grilled chicken, store-bought salad, a splash of dressing. She'd had this meal dozens of times. But that day something was different. After lunch, she stepped out for a short walk and never made it home. She wandered 3 blocks away, confused, disoriented, unable to say where she was or what she was doing. A neighbor called Carlos. And that call changed everything. At the hospital, doctors ran tests. No stroke, no fall, just mild cognitive impairment. A phrase that hides the fear so many families feel. Is my mom losing her memory? Carlos asked what she'd eaten, and when they looked closer, it was the same foods every day, packed with memory-damaging ingredients. The salad dressing full of seed oils. The light soda with aspartame. The frozen chicken seasoned with MSG. The doctors gave vague answers. Could be age, they said. But deep down, Carlos knew something had been building up inside her. Her daily habits weren't just innocent routines. They were dangerous habits for brain health. And they had turned a regular afternoon into a turning point. That moment sparked a question he couldn't ignore. What if everything they thought was safe was actually the problem? How she started remembering her granddaughter's name again. The change didn't happen overnight, but it started with one decision: real food. She traded the bottled dressings for a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, swapped the low-fat yogurts for boiled eggs and avocado, started drinking more water, adding turmeric to her tea, and taking a daily dose of vitamin B12. Her energy shifted. Her eyes looked less tired. And slowly, the fog that once clouded her thoughts began to lift. Each week brought small wins. She could find her words faster, remember where she placed her keys, laugh at stories without getting lost in the middle. The brain, even after 60, still has the power to rebuild, especially when we remove what harms and add what heals. These natural ways to restore brain health don't come in a magic pill. They come from consistency, love, and knowledge that finally makes sense. Then one morning, while flipping through an old photo album, her fingers paused on a picture. A little girl blowing out birthday candles. And without hesitation, she said the name out loud. It was soft, calm, but full of life. Like a memory that had been waiting behind a locked door, now open again. And that door didn't need a key, just the right habits to heal what was silently fading away. So now, imagine your mother standing in front of the fridge, again, unsure why she opened it. How many of these habits are still part of your routine? Or hers? How many times have we said, "It's just age," and moved on, not knowing a food, a pill, or a routine might be silently draining the brain? The truth is, forgetting isn't always natural, and many cases of memory loss after 60 could be prevented, or even reversed, if we knew where to look. Are you ready to see your kitchen differently? To question every light label, every diet claim, every ingredient you once trusted? This isn't fear. It's empowerment. Because memory isn't just a function. It's your granddaughter's name, your father's laugh, your wedding song. And protecting it means protecting every moment that makes life worth remembering. If this video opened your eyes in any way, share it. With a son who's quietly worried. With a friend forgetting appointments. With someone who deserves to know the truth. And if you believe this message matters, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us. Not just for more content, but for clarity, compassion, and real solutions that can change a life. Starting now.